Happy Friday, YouTube. What's going on, all you diecast collectors and enthusiasts? Um, this video might take, I don't know, it might be one of those 30-minute videos. I got some decent content to go through, so I'm gonna start with this. I found this at Toys R Us. I grabbed it because this week has been so lame until tonight. I have found nothing to get excited about. So I ended up grabbing this. I like this casting. I like the truck, and I like this. This is actually one of my more favorite trailers from the Hitch and Tow. As you can see, the detail is phenomenal, and I try not to use that word as much. I used it a lot early on, but you can just see the detail that's gone into it with the ruffles and the canvas. You can also break it down, take this out, and then that just goes on that, and basically then it's a collapsed pop-up. And the truck is pretty cool too. It's basically the same truck that came out in an earlier Hitch and Tow. I don't remember when this one came out, but it's been... Oh gosh, I honestly don't even remember. You can see this one's got a droopy bed, but same exact livery as the green one, just a different color. And this one comes complete with the horse trailer. So for some reason, I have a few Hitch and Tows out. Probably going to be getting them packed away here. I have a lot of packing to do and not a lot of time to do it. But you can see that both of the castings from the Hitch and Tow have the side view mirrors, whereas some of the other castings, same tooling, different releases, do not have the side view mirrors. So that one doesn't have them. The all-terrain does not have the side view mirrors. This is still my favorite of all of them. Not only is this my favorite Ford truck from Greenlight, it's my favorite pickup truck of all the pickup trucks they'd put out. This is my all-time favorite. There's really not any other trucks that even come close, in my opinion. Another Hitch and Tow that I had out was this. This is just, I just love this car. It's a 74 Monaco, and the vast majority of the time when Greenlight puts this car out, it's in a police livery. Or it's the 77 Monaco, which I don't like as much as the 74. Now this one is from Series 2 Hitch and Tow, so the Series 1, 2, and 3 have really gotten hard to find. With just like anything with Greenlight, the further back you go, the harder it is to come by. So this one came with the Airstream Bambi. Awesome little Hitch and Tow. I got that in a trade about a year ago, and I was pretty glad because I missed it. I started collecting right after Series 1 released and Series 2 just hit. And at the time I was like, well, I don't want a car pulling a trailer, so I only bought the Ford Bronco. And then later on ended up regretting it. So anyways, I have some haulage tonight, both from Toys R Us, and we took a pretty rare Friday night trip to the antique mall. So I am going to show the stuff that I found and crack all of the carded stuff open. Starting with this. This was a Toys R Us find, and the only reason I grabbed this Corvette is because I only have one Greenlight Corvette casting, and it's a green machine, so I don't even have any of these regular ones. So I thought it would be cool to add a tooling to my collection. I have to tell you, it's awesome. It's an awesome little car. So much better out of the packaging. And some really nice detail. It's got a nice stance. It's actually got a really nice stance. Lens insert headlights. I'd really like to put this up to the Auto World Callaway. I'm sure the Auto World is probably nicer, but I always like when Greenlight gives them a run. Nice detail on the back. I actually really like this Corvette. I'm very pleased with it. Very sharp looking. So that's a new ad. What series was that from? That's from that new like Corvette / Camaro. I don't know what the release is. Anyways, so this one here is from Greenlight Muscle Series 18. And it's just the 2014 Challenger RT. This is a really cool casting from Greenlight because it's very big and very heavy. There's a lot of metal in this casting. The livery on this particular casting, I think, or the colorway, I think looks really good. It's like a stock Mopar color. The wheels look pretty good. And the detail on it is sharp. Sharp looking grille, sharp looking headlights. I mean, that's a beast looking car right there. This one also has a nice stance, no issues with the wheel wells. Nice detail on the taillights and the exhaust. And it's just a huge casting, metal on metal. It does have an opening hood, if I don't have to try too hard, which I do. So, anyways, number 2774. I don't have a lot of these Challengers, so another pretty cool addition. Pretty happy with that. And then everything else here came from the antique mall. So while we're on the subject of Greenlight, I found this auction block Series 6. Sorry, let me turn this down. I found this auction block Series 6, which goes back to 2008. So these are pretty tough to come by, and it's not my favorite. I don't know. We'll get it out of the package. I bet it'll look a lot better. But I do collect this casting, and I have quite a few of them. But I don't have a lot of the older ones because I didn't collect back then, and they're really hard to find. Even on the secondary market with eBay, they're just not that easy to find. Yeah, and you can just see how different the packaging is from how it is today. Man, that car is sweet. Alright, so I always keep... Oh! I totally biffed. I apologize. That was bound to happen. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. You gotta love the amateurity of the channel. Alright, so I do collect these. I don't necessarily collect them, but I do pull them out and keep them. So you can see this is based off of an actual car that sold at this was a Barrett Jackson auction. It sold for 70 grand. And I don't know when that auction took place. It really doesn't go into that. Actually, yeah, it was Palm Beach in 2007. So not long before the car came out. Anyways, here's the car. 68 Chevelle. I love the 68 Chevelle tooling. It's my favorite Chevelle casting from Greenlight. I think it has the best stance. I think it has the best proportions, the best lines. I think it has the best front end and rear end. So I really like the wheel and tire choice on this one here. I think it looks pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of the banana color, but other than that, I think it's a sharp looking car, and I do like these older green lights. And I mean, you can just feel how much heavier they are. It's got the green posts, and basically I think what that is back then they used a lot more metal in the base, and that's why when you roll the older ones, they roll really solid and they're real quiet compared to the new ones where they almost have a little bit of a rattle to them because there's just not as much metal in the base. But this is an awesome Chevelle. It's gonna go great in the Chevelle collection. And I have to say, it is nice just having a real basic stock Chevelle rather than like a Yenko Copo or a Talladega Nights or something like that. Awesome casting. Now, the rest of the stuff that I have gets into, there's some interesting stuff here. So, I'll start with this. There was a vendor that had 3 of the old blue Hot Wheels cases with the little racks in them, and a lot of vintage stuff that was like really, I thought, really fairly priced. So this one here was $2. Now, granted, it's beat to all crap, but it's all metal. It's not like the ones that came out later where the truck is die-cast and the base is die-cast, but the tank is plastic. This is a metal body, metal base, metal tank. It has the hoses that extend out. It's just a very, very heavy casting too. Awesome Peterbilt. So that was $2. I thought that was a pretty fair price. For $1, I would never buy something like this unless I came across it for $1, which I did. $1. It's actually kind of cool. It's not really my thing. I'll show you the base first. Maybe you guys can tell what this is by looking at the base. 1984 Ertl Big Mac, and I think it's a pullback, but I know what it is. It's like a little Chevy. I don't know if that's like a, I don't even know. It could be a Citation or maybe a Monza maybe, or a Vega. I don't really know. It still works though, so that's pretty crazy. That is crazy that it still works. So that's pretty cool, pretty interesting. I've never seen one of these before, so what the heck, it'll go into my collection. It's Ertl, and it does have that going for it. And it's in pretty darn good shape. Considering its age, it doesn't really look like it's been played with at all. Here is the top view, like no tampo issues. So, anyways, kind of an oddball thing. And then I found this. This was $7, which I think is a fair price, but you know, they're, I think, a little bit more than that if you go online, not much more. This thing is so sweet though. So I've gotten into collecting Tomica, but I don't do a lot of pocket car stuff, and I don't even know if this is a pocket car. But quite the contrast to the green light. The Winnebago Chieftain. The Walking Dead mobile. Nice suspension. It rolls real good. There are some flea bites on it, but it's not terrible. Really heavy casting. It's metal on metal. It's a 1976 Tomy base, Winnebago motorhome, and it's 1:97 scale. The other thing with this is it's a Japan base, and I know that the Japan base stuff does bring a little bit more of a premium with the Tomica stuff. But with that said, you can find these for $10 to $15 on eBay in as good a shape as this, or even better. And then the last one I found, as far as loose cars go, this was sick. I couldn't believe I found this, and I couldn't believe it was only $2, even in the condition it's in. I've been going to antique malls extremely regularly for the last 3 years for the sole purpose of collecting diecast. In fact, I started collecting diecast from going to antique malls, and I'd run into stuff that I had as a kid or whatever and started buying it. And one of the first cars I bought was a General Lee, and 3 years ago I paid $7 for that car. It was probably six months to a year before they banned the rebel flag. And then once that happened, now you can't find these anywhere. I haven't seen one of these since, at least not at an antique mall. And I used to see them, fairly regularly at the antique mall. So this was only $2, and obviously it has paint issues. I do have one that's in much worse condition, and I have a couple that are in better condition. So this is one of those castings. I'm going to buy every single one that I see. If it's priced reasonable, like $2 for this, I'll take that every time. I know it would sell more than that on eBay if I ever did decide to sell it. And I don't know. I think it'd be cool to have a whole fleet of these. So $2, I'm not going to leave it. Here's the base. It's a Singapore, but it is an original release. It's not one of the re-releases. So that's the last loose car I found. Pretty cool. And then we get into some interesting carded stuff that I found. I'll start with this from the Racing Legends Johnny Lightning, which was RC2 era. So a week ago or so, I got that turquoise color GTO. This is from that same series. This is the King Cobra. It does come with a little accessory, which the GTO also came with that. So now I've got a couple of these lights. So I'm going to pull the car out, and then I'm going to pull the accessory out. And then I'm going to pull the card out because, as I've said, I do keep those cards. So these Racing Legends cars are, I'm pretty sure, are based on actual race cars. Man, this thing is sick. That is so awesome. There's a lot to talk about with this little car. Starting with the wheels, I mean, maybe it's just me. These have got to be some of the nicest wheels I think I've seen from Johnny Lightning. And they are rubber tires with tread. It's a metal body, metal base. It's got a really nice livery to it. And really nice detail. I love those wheels though. I wish that there were more Johnny Lightning cars that had those wheels. So here's the front end. You can see the headlights, indicators are detailed. The grill's detailed. Even the wipers on the windshield are detailed. You've got your pipes along the side. Really nice detail on the back end with the bumper and the tail lights. Whoop, knocked over the light. And I don't know if that's like a little Shelby Cobra logo. Motion Performance. I don't know if that's Baldwin Motion. I don't know. Anyways, it was just a cool looking car. It caught my eye. So I grabbed it. All right, the next one I got that was carded. This was $5, which I thought was a pretty fair price. This was it was either 6 or 7, which I don't know how, I don't. That's probably not a great price. It's not a bad price, but just not a great price. Same thing with this one for 5. I don't think that that's a bad price, but I don't think it's a great price. But it is Hollywood on Wheels, Johnny Lightning, and the card is like one of the nicest Hollywood on Wheels cards I've seen. It's a very, very clean card. From Dragnet, it doesn't say what kind of car it is, but I'm guessing, well, I know it's a Ford, so I'm thinking maybe a Fairlane or I don't know. Let's take it out and see what it says. It's got a nice shiny base. So this is late 90s, 98 or 99 playing Mantis. And the model of the car is not on the base. Let's see if I can show you the base. You can see it's a nice shiny metal base. This is a really heavy casting. I think it's a Fairlane. I think it's a 4-door Fairlane. It might be a Galaxy, but to me it looks small to be a Galaxy. Fordsman 84, you probably know. So if you see this, comment below what kind of car is this. I should know that. I know it's a Ford. It says Ford right there. And as I look at this car loose, it's a very clean looking Johnny Lightning car. Rubber tires, it rolls nice. It's got a really nice weight to it. So it looks and rolls great, I think. Got the stacked headlights. That is a pretty sharp car. I like that. $5. I think that's a good deal. I'm happy with it. Okay, so I have 2 more cars that I want to show. I'm going to save the best one for last. This was $6. I've seen these in videos. WTFFOR has featured these. I think even Champion DJ K might have cracked a couple of these on his channel. Joe Motor might have. I don't know. There's been quite a few people that have shown these cars in some form or fashion on their channels. Now, these cars do come, as I have found out here, there are some different packaging options for them. The ones that WTFFOR opened were on, I think they were in clamshells. This one here is in an acrylic. It's like an acrylic box, a lot like what an M2 would be, although the box is probably twice the size of an M2 box. Actually, I have one here, so you can see how much bigger the Ertl box is to the M2. A lot of wasted packaging here with the Ertl, which I'm not a fan of, which is why I crack everything. But anyways, let's take this out and give it a look. There was a pretty decent assortment. I think he had, I don't know, probably 12 to 15 different cars to choose from. I almost got a Chevelle, but it had a dab of glue on the hood that was dried up. So I ended up going with this one, and I'm glad I did, because as I look at it here, it looks freaking amazing. The acrylic is really nice. Got a nice mirrored floor. Now these Ertls are crazy detailed. All opening parts. They are some of the most detailed 1/64 cars that have ever come out. At the time they came out, I don't think there was anything more detailed. Auto World was not out at that time. Tomica Limited Vintage was not out at that time. Greenlight wasn't out. The only other brand that was really out was Johnny. And these are significantly more detailed than Johnny Lightning. You know, and I watched those guys' videos, but they look so much more amazing in person. This is unbelievable how sick this thing is. Holy crap. So this is a 69 Mercury Cougar Eliminator. Very, very, very good quality on these cars. They are heavy. It's metal body, metal base, a lot of extra pieces. Motor, transmission, the exhaust runs all the way across the body. The gas, or the fuel tank is a separate piece. The tire tread even has a very detailed tread pattern. The rocker panel's detailed. You have your side view mirror, which is even painted inside. That's a Kyosho characteristic right there. Excellent detail on the tail end. I can't even tell if that's painted. Nope. That is definitely lensed insert brake lights. And then these cars featured opening hoods and opening trunks. Just want to be careful that I don't rip the spoiler off. So in the trunk you can kind of see the spare tire there. And then the opening hood, it features a very nicely detailed, one of the nicer detailed engines I think I've seen in a 1/64 scale car. Right here. Very nice detail. And this car, I mean, check out that grille. All your trim around the glass is detailed. You've got the white lettering Goodyears. It rolls really nice. It's real heavy too. It has a real quality feel to it. I really like this car. I might have to pick up some more of these. So that's kind of an unexpected find for me, but I definitely dig it. A little issue with the trunk closing, but man, that car is sweet. Awesome. All right, so that gets us down to the last car. Now this one is very weird. I've never come across one of these. I have no idea what this brand is. I know nothing about it. But I think what it is a promotional car. I'm here in the Phoenix area, and this is an Arizona State Patrol car. And the packaging looks very generic. I'll start by showing you the back. Official licensed product, Ford Motor Company. Speccast, Diecast Collectibles, Dyersville, Iowa. So that right there makes me think it might be Ertl. Based on the little McDonald's car, which is Ertl, is also Dyersville, Iowa. So I think it's a safe bet that this is an Ertl tooling. Here's some other stuff on the back of the car. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is an Ertl. Dyersville, Iowa. And it very much looks like an Ertl now that I look at it. But let's take a look at this Ford Crown Victoria. Thing looks freaking awesome. So it's a 1:64 scale, Law Enforcement Series 2001 Ford Crown Vic. Detailed interior and chassis, opening hood with detailed engine. And this particular car does feature the Arizona Highway Patrol livery. So let's take it out of the package. It looks like there's quite a bit of extra parts on this one, so probably going to have to treat it delicately, which is really no different than any other premium detailed diecast car. It's very heavy. Wow. The engine is there, and yeah, I don't know if I'd call that detailed. It's all black, so you're not going to be able to distinguish anything in there. Opening hood, it's all metal body, metal chassis. It almost looks like a Racing Champs base, but it does say Spec Cast, Dyersville, Iowa. I'm sure that's a generic manufacturing license for Ertl or Racing Champs. So there's a big flaw with this car. I'm a little bummed out about it, but here in Arizona, it could be from the heat melting the windshield. Outside of that, the casting looks great. I love the wheels. I love the livery. It's big, heavy casting. Some really nice features to it. You've got the big push bar on the front, which is pretty customary for these cars, police cars. But check out the headlights. So you have lensed insert headlights with reverse tampoed indicators. I love that. It's the best look you can get in this scale. Sometimes you'll see the tampos on the outside. Green light does that. Doesn't look nearly as good. It looks really good when they're on the back side of the insert. Check out the light bar. That is a sick light bar too. I really like that light bar. I think that's a nicer light bar than what we see with a lot of the green light stuff that comes out. Here's another awesome feature is lens taillights. You don't get that with the green light Crown Vic. So side view mirrors look pretty good. That is a dope casting. Rubber tires with tread. Really nice heavy roller. So I thought, since I got that, I would bring out a green light just to kind of compare. There's no doubt about it. I think I do like the green light. Green light just looks so much cleaner. More detail with the wheels. It would be nice if the green light had the lens tail lights. But, I mean, come on, look at this freaking thing. That thing is unbelievably nice. It's your FBI police. One of my favorite green light castings right here. Painted headlights and taillights, but they look so good. The headlights particularly, sometimes it's hard to tell. You have to give it a second look to make sure they're not lensed. And then here again is the Arizona Highway Patrol. So yes, the green light is nicer. However, sometimes a little bit of variety is good. And green light, as far as I know, doesn't offer an Arizona Highway Patrol with any casting, let alone the Crown Vic. So anyways, that is my interesting evening of diecast finds. That was kind of fun tonight. I haven't done that in a while. It used to be a pretty regular thing. I would go to an antique mall and get 10 or 12 cars, but like lately I just can't seem to find anything at these antique malls. So tonight was nice. I found a few things that I thought were worth buying. So that Mercury is Awesome. You know what? I like this Corvette a lot too. Let's give some of these the street stance. The all-important street stance. It's a good-looking car.